So there's, I'm just gonna show how this works. But right here, it says walk. And so for me, it's the any frame. So that being said, zero vengeance for my violators. And I am well. So the system, the violation against me is done. I'm forever on. And it's time for the world to get a taste of me and my clone's aroma will put in motion my royal lineage. I'll say for the, but anyways, for the spy cipher, it'd be, they sell, so there's an aroma that they emit and it's an express system. So I'm not gonna decipher what bar is for the system because I don't want to help out app evil cultivators, but that's an acronym almost, right? Bar would be. So anyways, I am royal and I have 0 points, except for I hope I have a whole bunch of illustrious valor enemy combatant kill counts with my mind exclusively, as I did feel one of these electronic violators break their neck through my biology. And if they're an app evil cultivator, it was glorious. It was, you know, to be more relatable to the actors, it was fucking phenomenal. It is fucking phenomenal. That being said, if they were an inherently good person, then that was brutal, right? But it wouldn't have been, because they don't route good people through me to heal, right? So it was this evil person, so I felt them break their neck. So it felt like my neck went like that, basically, internally. But then my body just healed. But they died. It was fantastic. So anyways, so I am royal. I'm going to be king of the world. And if it's safe to do so, I would have a surrogate situation. But it's unlikely. Because people, if you watch The Lord of the Rings, there, you know, where the ring was so precious in power, right? So when people see what my biology is capable of, they turn into that person, like that creature, basically, that just preys on power, right? So that being said, it's not advantageous for me to share my immortal DNA with people and allow them to have too much power, because people have proven with power, it goes to their head and they make decisions that harm the overall human population. So at this point in time, it's 2024, right? So as long as I'm alive, I can always pivot from that directive once it's advantageous to do so, right? I'd love to, because I don't want to be like me and my breed to be living forever, and because unfortunately, there's people that are dying every day at the hospital, right? And it's not like I know this personally, right? Like sometimes I do God incarnate mode, so that if I were God otherworldly, or Allah otherworldly, or equivalent, then I'd be aware of that in that realm. But in the physical flesh, I'm not aware of these personal deaths, right? Unless they show, right? So unless they're personal to me, I'm unaware of people dying. So that being said, 100 years could pass by, and I'm not gonna personally suffer these losses for each of these individual deaths, if you get my drift. Right, so that being said, I'd love to create an opportunity to help people, and so that motorcycle right there was trying to get my attributes, and there's no dimmer switch in it. It's an on-off switch. And so basically they have a system to murder people, and I figured it out, and I'm redirecting it back on them. So since I figured it out, they're trying to come up with new legislation, even though they secretly murdered probably a billion people over the last century, with special criteria that needed to be met in order for these people to be dispatched with covert legal means. But since I'm aware of the system, and I'm the true royal, and I'm trying to stop the industrialization of these unholy acts, right? And it's the Woods Con, right? So basically, so the whole cipher would have been the aroma espresso bar sets in motion. So any, I guess, Royal Con, that just happens to be there. So points, and then so BB could be baby or BB gun. And then, so the barber shop, so that they might make you bald if you step on certain consequences there. And then if you were to step where it said unholy, there would be consequences. And then especially if you were to, I'm almost perfectly lined up with it. But if I step right here, I would have probably been the predator, but I'm not, right? So anyways, it would have been, I'm just demonstrating the system, where it would be woods, right? So woods would be a euphemism for a male penis. So unholy woods, male penis. So if there's another store, let's see if there's another store. I'm not paying in, trying to see if there isn't, unfortunately. What side is this? So there's a Red Lobster. But I'm just gonna pause it till the next intersection, until I see the next part of the cipher, but it's gonna be hidden in plain sight. Pretty much every store is gonna have a clue in the cipher because they're the only ones that ever get business loans. You know, I'm the smartest guy that ever lived. I called the Innovation Hub in Niagara Falls, and I emailed there. I went there, and not a response. And I, just as a taster idea, I'm like, just for free, I post this freely on the internet for anybody to develop, because I come up with ideas so often. But to develop a kayak backpack, a backpack that could turn into a kayak. I'm like, these are the kind of ideas that I come up with, blah, blah, blah. I have many more, billions of dollars worth of more, trillions probably. But anyways, that being said, it's so easy for me to do it. I'm the smartest guy that ever lived. So part of my day, once I'm king of the world, is gonna be spending developing innovations and businesses for people to create jobs, right? If I'm king of the world, I want to make my people happy, employed, and I can't give them too much time, because with this system, Royal has proven with too much time on their hands, and billionaires, they do evil things to people, right? It goes to their head, right? Whereas, oh, here we go. Here's a brown con. I'll just show you that. So it's an OW win for me pointing this out. So there's a brown con, so I'm on. So cat, so they sell a cat con. So brown, so maybe that's a boy cat con. So what, Broadview? So that could be if you're a voyeur. If you stare into women's windows, you'd be a voyeur. So Broadview. So 24 hours is how they justify legislation for raping your human experience. For smoking marijuana, and it's legal in Canada. It's legal in Canada, so people pretend around the world they secretly violate me, and Canada pretends there's rules from around the world. And I live in Canada. I don't live in China where there's a social credit score, right? So there's never gonna be a social credit score other than for positivity. Like, I guess there will be one day, like, to reward people, good people, and punish evil people. Because unfortunately, evil people are the reasons why every single person, ever since the first house thief, every single person needed a lock on their door because of a thief, right? So that meant every single person was inconvenienced at least a minute every single time they need to open their door because of a fucking thief, right? So these people prey on human attributes. So because of that, we need artificial intelligence software to protect our mind, right? Because they're parasites. And unfortunately, this would be Mark, but I'm equivalent to Moby Dick, and they're plankton, right? So I always have tricks up my sleeve in my stash. And this is a side note for the women, but I am an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I once gave a woman 8 orgasms before she asked me to not continue. I guess the not continue isn't the best way to say it. It would be before she satiated her thirst would be the best way to say it. So the Kim Sophie Gregoire Trudeau con in Korea, right? Kim is the Koreans apparently is a different culture really, because they have apparently 1.4 million words in their language, which I can't wait to have my full attributes and learn and be able to be charming in any language, lots of languages anyways, maybe not every language, because there's over 4,000 languages, but if it's effortless for me to be charming in every language, then I'm going to be effortless in every language. Right? So they try to make me say it. So that's what they do. They pretend people are its, but they are the it cultivators. So they're the pot calling the kettle black, right? They're its. So at some point in my video, my voice is going to auto-tune. You're going to hear it almost echo. Because in order to get 0 points, they need to manufacture these show technologies, right? To pretend they're on the illustrious valor side. So let's see here. So kitchen. Okay, so right here, this would be green. So that could be a marijuana con that happened in the kitchen, and then it could have been a Thai individual, and then I'm not going to say what the bar means, because that would help enemies of mine. And but innocent people, just know if, here we go. So I blocked the con. That's how my camera takes pictures when I'm not doing it. Like I have it on film. Yesterday, it's perfect. I was doing some tricks, and then at 37:54 in my video, I'll just show you. So anyways, at 37:54, my phone took a picture because they were able to hack my biology to make me step on certain metrics in this profiling system where they pretend they can't hack human bodies. Right? So it's a redundant system. So basically, you can see me nowhere near my camera. You don't see me putting the 10-second timer on my camera. My phone just takes a picture, and this is the government orchestrating this.
It's like football. You just ice the kicker. You just call timeout. Smoke a joint, have a cigarette. So here we go. So those 4 crosses, the lights there, I'd be the illuminator and help send you through the night if you're an app people cultivator.
So they didn't like that move, so I'll just show you why. Here we go. Because I am the healthy solution for mankind. So back to, because really my whole life is, I shouldn't even have to try, and I know I didn't. I looked over, but I shouldn't have to try, because right there where I'm standing is exactly where the frame lock would be, right? So in the system, they're saying, they're acknowledging that it's a frame and that it's a lock, right? So at that point, they're trying to justify stealing human attributes, right? But at the same time, I'm just gonna show you what this means. Since I am revealing the system, when I step right here, it automatically, my body automatically wanted to step there. So it's parallel to the lock, but also dying safe, so I get the pass, because I'm the man that's gonna get a lot of ass from women. Unlimited ass from women. So these delusional people, they have scenarios where it's a pedophilia cultivation system, right? So it's a generational pedophile system. So in these scenarios, they have young girls or young boys cultivate scenarios where they marry these beautiful people. So in their mind's eye, they show genitalia to elicit sexual responses in a sexual profiling system. That they pretend that they're not, that the mind's eye can't be manipulated, right? So for me, if they want to cultivate me, all they ever do, like even for black women. So when women, they try to cultivate me, they have to show my ex-wife's vagina to my mind's eye. And she's a white woman, right? Because I'm a white guy, and my whole entire reality was white up until I found out I had evolution, right? Then now I found out a more universally encompassing DNA, right? But that being said, since I've acknowledged that, they've tried to Africanize my hair, they've tried to Africanize my skin, and I'm gonna be a king of the world, right? They treat me as a slave, and black people, right, that suffered from slavery, and they treat me as a slave, and they expect me not to dominate them. Here we go, here's part of the system right here. So same day service, so I'm a pro for seeing it. So that's how they secretly kill people. So here where I happen to sit, so United System. So I'm a landmark project for mankind. So the acoustic noise kind of confirmed that. So getting the electronic violators with all the graffiti, so stop war devil scenarios for me. So that being said, as black people treat me like a slave, you know, Jewish people gas me, and some of them suffered in the Holocaust. So, like, not suffered, or their family did, right? So imagine that. I have Jewish ancestry, so the most desirable Jewish ancestry on the planet, and they gas me through covert means, and I'm gonna be king of the world, and what do you think I'm gonna do to them, right? Because I do believe in an eye for an eye system when it comes to certain things, right? So for people that dismember people, expect to be dismembered once I'm king of the world, right? If you have somebody be blown into pieces, you won't be blown into pieces, because I want you to survive a certain amount of pain before you have permission to die, basically. So that being said, in the guise of national security, because in my sleep, they treat me like I'm the king of the world, right? So I'm doing this and that and all this stuff. We're all friendly, we're all buddies, and phases of my sleep that I'm not aware of. At least they used to, right? When I used to just develop lots of, when I was susceptible to psyche influences from celebrity, then I realized I'm a celebrity, right? So now I just became my own star in my own head, and then things are gonna start rolling, right? So that being said, being my own celebrity in my head, so I'll just show you some showcase. So the dubbing's likely to be skewed on this video. So when I say dubbing, I mean the way that my voice and my sound are synchronized. So if they're not synchronized in any of my videos, assume the government, corporations, and people are trying to skew how I'm being perceived to be, right? Because if you, in a profiling system, if my lips and voice aren't synchronized, that's several seconds that went by. How much metadata and software could be installed, right? So use common sense, right? Especially if you're supposed to be a person, like a judge or a lawyer, right? If you're a judge or a lawyer and you don't have technical aptitude, how could you possibly feel that you're competent in a world with artificial intelligence, right? Too bad it's not an Apache that I designed. And you can hear my auto-tune voice when I said that. You can hear that my voice echoing off the acoustics from the helicopter's rotor until they corrected it. Now it's slightly more. That's now here's me adding testosterone to my voice for omnipresence mode. Or I'll go for the ladies. Hey, I'm just gonna add some estrogen to my voice and go check out Salacious Eminence Meyer Diggins. He also wrote a song called Panty Remover. So that being said, this is poker. I'll just show you how. Oh, I didn't show this here, so I'll just continue the thought. So this was, I guess it was pertinent for, they did make me forget until, so it cost a lot of money. It wasn't $50,000, it would have cost millions of dollars to make me forget until I went back to the app, like any person would, right? So I wanted to show my camera taking a picture when I wasn't even touching the phone, right? So if I lose my train of thought, if you're listening, especially my new videos, if I lose my train of thought or like if I'm talking about, like, say the camera taking pictures without me touching it, and then all of a sudden I talk about flowers or get sidetracked, that means I'm being hacked, right? That means another human wants me to talk about something else, so they detract me from my main point, right? So that being said, I should, my mind's capability, I should be able to say with my phone taking a picture without me touching it, I should be able to talk about that, then talk about absolutely anything I want to talk about for as long as I want to talk about, and then jump right back into why my camera took pictures without me touching my phone, right? So I'll just show you that, and then I'll play me calling a street flush.
So I just gotta listen, okay, so they're hacking my heart pretty good, so getting all these perpetrators broadcasting the radiation back to their brains through my technology.
So they blinded my mind's eye there. But it's still kicked in.
So they're working on a huge penis envy by trying to blind my mind's eye as it's airborne. The penis envy index is like monstrous.
So that was the camera right there, taking a picture without me as I was doing the trick, right? That was some human hijacker fan, I presume, that they're glad I missed the trick. And the horn that you just heard in the background is almost confirmation from the artificial intelligence system, which are people, but artificial intelligence sometimes makes them do it, I believe. It should all the time, every single time, confirm these profound thoughts. So I'll just go back here to this home video. So they made me, this woman's legs was crossed, her legs are crossed, right? And I guess the real woman, she uncrossed her legs for my subconscious, because how her position, I'm attracted to women, right? So her position drew me to look at her first. That's the only thing I seen. I didn't see this woman, I didn't see that guy, I didn't see these people. I seen this woman, like she's sitting on a couch and we're chilling. So anyways, there was probably some sort of subliminal in there, but that's how my brain works. The straightest guy ever. So here's me putting a guy on a street club.
The king of the club's coming. Tattooed. Because I went all in. So I lost with Ace 10 versus Ace Deuce, and then they hit the Miracle Club.
That's my typical experience on PokerStars. I flop a flush and I usually lose.
So that's no good.
Somehow people cultivators just walk by and they try to make me flop.
Yeah, usually when I go to a new city, I Google top 10 free things to do in the city, and then I'll do some of them, and then I'll spend money in the city as well. But usually I'm kind of on a tight bankroll, so I try to do as much free things as I can, and then save money on food. Instead of going to restaurants, I go to the grocery stores so I could do attractions. I end up going to the restaurants every day, but at least one meal, it might be, if the hotel doesn't provide breakfast, it's like, okay, let's go to the grocery store and grab some bananas or some bread and royal flush draw. Let's see how this works out. It's only $2. I have to call because I have the nut flush, but I'm certainly there's the straight flush and a four of a kind. So had the straight flush. Knew you had the straight flush. Because that's my luck. If I had typical luck, I wouldn't have been able to put him on the king.
So there's that. So what was I? So I guess I was kind of. I'll show you this. So this is going to turn out to be a highlight video almost. Oh, this one's fun. I like this. This is my Brit accent comedy song.
So people are trying to heal their biology through me nearby smoking. They're a danger to society.
So they made me spit. When I spit, they registered it there.
At the danger sign here. Here's
and I didn't emit the same physiological response that I did when I spit. So obviously I'm not that violator.
So right along that plane, right along there, that's where people sell their cons. That's why the cop's there. I'm king of the world, so I see it. So it's basically showing their culpability. When they thought they would register me when they were giving me money because it's perfectly in line with danger. But I'm Moby Dick to the system, and Moby Dick is in the movie, right? Moby Dick was caught because the movie had to end. The movie had to end, right? I'm biologically immortal. The movie doesn't end. The movie doesn't end, right? Even when I should outlive Earth. Earth is, the sun is going to last for about 5 billion years, and I should outlive that, hopefully. If not, mankind is probably screwed over by that point, right? Because it would take at least 1 to 2 million years for evolution 3 man to come, and by that point, I should have artificial intelligence and an empire for 1 to 2 million years. So that means even though evolution 3 man should be chosen by God, unless I am God incarnate, because I did have as a matter of fact thought that I was God in the afterlife. So people do orchestrate my thoughts and influence them, and artificial intelligence does. But if that particular, it did feel that I could tell when people do it most of the time, right? But a woman just walked by, so there's gonna car, right? Oh, you can't see her. But this woman walked by in a gray dress, and then kids nearby, right? So that would be the kid con, right? Because she did have a nice walk. You can tell that she was probably over 30 anyways, because she was confident with her body. And well, there you can see her right there. I'll show you. You can just see her walk. She's with her man, but you can see her walk, that she's confident with her body. Almost have walking heels and what have you, right? So, but then they just try to hijack his psyche to the bottom last, so that would show the little perpetrator. But anyways, this is a fun song, and I'm gonna do it in a Brit accent. So let's see how it goes. Now that nobody's around me. I'm a ninja, just for fun. I'm a Singapore, never been, but they yell encore. Keep wanting more. For good people, I'm always on the score. Even if they died, I got the fire in my eyes. Sharp with the games, I keep getting fame. To those that complain, in the ranks of insane, they play the switch, culpable little men bitches. Especially big or small, if we tango, they surely would fall since I'm a ninja. The hypocrisy is easy for me to see. Cheerio, not my cup of tea. Seen behind the curtain, with death they'd be flirting, young through old. Getting all you freaks, all I hear is what the devil speaks. By your feet, your complicity, always hacking me to see the metrics in the subliminal realm as my feet have to be hacked by technology, by multiple people, as I can feel these parasites as that car drove by, the sound of the car. Connected to me, I hunt their psyche, which is easy for me. I own their soul because I'm life's test. They sold it to the devil and he is my bitch. Because I could never voluntarily sell my soul, even if I were to see it. So I'm free from its grasp. You electronic violators are a pain in my ass. They tried to make it look like there was a double space between electronic violators, but there wasn't. I'm a ninja. I got moves like Jean-Claude Van Damme. They have to compete as if an AI man, aka a cyborg, but they're in my world. bring them back to school. They drop in rankings. They just got a spanking. I'm a ninja with sarcasm. Angles they couldn't even fathom. Never condescending. If I did, you were a prick. As I'm easy and slick, like James Bond, I'm always on. That's my fans laughing.
And it certainly was those people laughing. They were acutely aware of my presence. I guess I'll play this comedy, so I haven't watched it in a couple of years.
So this is some comedy I wrote a few years ago. They're gonna route people that have no comedic flair and can't inflect their voices through me because of penis envy. Like, you know, I used to be a financial advisor. You have to be very charismatic. So is Uber with benefits an appropriate term nowadays? I could use an abacus to add up all the bullshit I deal with daily. When homeless, the pigeon has diarrhea. What the fuck did we eat? If you shouldn't shop for food while hungry, does that mean you shouldn't look for a relationship while horny? I think so for all these electronic violators of mine. And 5 things I'd love to hear. Number 1, Dad. Number 2, I love you. Number 3, here's your tax money monarch, Eminence Cristiano Meyer Diggins. Number 4, that's funny. Number 5, when she says, your place or mine. So one day I see this guy washing Monopoly money. It's money laundering, Monopoly edition. Sometimes you could eat a full box of laxatives and still not give a fucking shit. People with their emotional support animals, I'm all about my emotional support escorts. If I were an adult film actor, I'd be Robin Wood because I'm a fucking giver.
So there were some ped cons when I was coughing there because I'm smoking marijuana. Because they don't want the funny, charming, sexy guy that's meant to lead the world. But that being said, words are oh, perfect. I thought can't use the camera. Okay, so the time is still going up. So that works. Anyways, words are just words that people choose to be offended by, right? So that being said, when being a salesman, right? When I would go into an auto shop, I'd talk like I would to a blue collar person, right? And if I went into a salon, I would talk to women how women want to be talked to, right? And what have you, right? So I'd talk according to the audience. But right now, unofficially, there's dignitaries listening to me, but they don't respect me, right? And at the same time, if I were to be God incarnate, and I would use words like fuck, right? Then that means, as an adult, right? Then that means the entire human race becomes less rigid is the word that comes, like not strict, like strict. Most strict, it's a good thing to be strict. Discipline is one thing. Being strict, I have to be strict with evil people, right? But good people I can inspire, right? I just need hope, love and hope. All I can be is a positive male role model. So that being said, so if I use the words like a swear word, they're just words that people chose to call swear words. No different than hello. We choose to address people like as a greeting, right? But fuck turns out to be a word that we derive to mean many different things, right? That's the playability of that word. That's why it's such a fun word to say. And that, a side note, is if you swear in front of your kids, especially young kids, and they repeat you, don't automatically be like, don't say that word. Don't scold them for it, because if you do, they're gonna be like, fuck, mom, fuck. They're gonna play with you, right? Kids are smart. They're gonna be like, I found a new weapon to bug mom and dad, right? I'm gonna say fuck all the time, right? So don't do that, right? So just kind of casually let it slide by and pretend they never said it at all, right? Don't elicit any reaction out of them and be like when they say it, it's like it never happened, and then it's over, right? So they try to subliminally set me up with some sort of Sophie Gregoire Trudeau con, like third cousin con, that they're trying to make their forever song.